coming back to join the cast of Carmen. I never sung a single song before. I don't really care where I stand in the winner's circle. Make room for a man from the middle with you. I don't even know how I got to the finish, but don't care, don't make no difference to me. I don't understand what you're saying, only kinda listen. Make room for a man on a mission with you. I don't even know how I got to the finish, but don't care, don't make no difference.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this...
Thank you very much, Larry. As usual, the streets of the nearby French Quarter are alive as we are in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They run. Devontae Freeman. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
Now only needed a yard, instead went backwards. This is taken around the 12. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Good use of the pass there to pick up the 1st down against a defensive look that they had specifically prepared for, they told us, coming into this one.
Certainly seems like they're holding all the right cards now, doesn't it? Because of their preparation. Went back, watched the tape, studied the tendencies, and they feel like they had them down cold, and they were able to use the pass against them.
Give them 13 on the pickup there. And the Saints are going to get a 1st down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Unable to connect on the 1st down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Thomas the intended target, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete.
Come on, let's go!
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Brandon Cooks, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Saints have taken the early lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play. Yeah.
That too.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. A big run there by Freeman. 58 yards. He was over 100 yards a week ago, and he's well on his way once again.
Say it with me, partner. Encore, encore. This guy's headed towards getting it done one more time.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Seven yards to go on 2nd down. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now a shotgun snap is nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Wonder what's in the offensive playbook on 3rd and 13. We're about to find out. In the slot on the right is Graham. On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Brandon, I'm going to guarantee that the defensive coordinator just gave a huge sigh of relief. He had his dime package in the game, 6 defensive backs, and when they run draw and big offensive linemen are thundering downfield, that's usually a win for the offense.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting.
Touchdown, New Orleans! And McCaffrey with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. They got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Graham slotted out to the left.
Here we go now. Boom, landing.
On second down, Freeman. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I know from an offensive perspective, you want every play to be a big play. But sometimes the defense actually wins, and they did there on that draw play. Good job by the runner just taking care of the football because he didn't want to compound a bad play by turning it over.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete. Here's Ryan Quigley now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Now here's the Falcons defense getting set to go again. See if they can regroup a little bit. They gave up the touchdown last drive.
And you know from our meetings with coaches all across the league, one of their pet peeves, when teams get down, a lot of these guys now, they want to treat it like it's a video game or something. Hit reset. Let's start over, coach. The first 2 series, they don't even matter now. Let's play again. That's not how...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about it, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on. And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put it up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. One quarter down, 14-3. That's our score. EA Sports in it with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out.
Come on, let's go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
So often you hear defensive coaches talk about we need all 11 on every play in order to be a good run-stopping unit. And sometimes it starts to sound a little cliche. But did you see the free safety on that play? Knifing through and running down the ball carrier. A huge, huge play. And when you have a free safety who can run like that, you've got to turn him loose.
Come on, let's go.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. That is caught inside the 5. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Come on, let's go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
They'll look to throw here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's 3rd and 4.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
He'll look to throw, escaping the pressure right. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. It's their quarterback with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Saints add on to their lead.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 20. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Their dangerous wide receiver, 81 yards. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Well, looking down at my game card here, that's 5 drives now for them and 4 touchdowns. I think anybody would take an 80% ratio.
I'm sure that they would, but if you flip it over to the other side of the ball, what are they going to hang their hat on? There was one possession. They held them to no score whatsoever. That's where they're going to try and build on and try and slow this team down.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Hurry up, here we go. Leopard, hot.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And left side here, it's Graham. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
The offense didn't pick up the first down there, but they're not going to go to the bench discouraged. They feel like they're starting to set the defense up a little bit, looking for the big play as this game progresses.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he fields it cleanly. And some space here. And he's loose again. And he takes it all the way, but there is laundry on the field. A flag is down. And I think this one's coming back.
I agree.
First down.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards on the pickup, and that leads to a New Orleans first down. When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? Their planning, their preparation, they knew what they were going to get in that defense, and they were able to attack it accordingly.
It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short. 2nd and just 1.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them. This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And they'll go on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front, creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Their dangerous wide receiver. His second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Saints just continue to roll.
Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well.
So this drive spans 7 plays, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled. Come out throwing here to start the drive. Surveying the field. Going right side here, and that's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And they're going to speed things up here. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. First down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
It makes so many catches that are so tough, so acrobatic, so difficult, that often surprises me when they actually turn the ball over. You know, when the ball actually comes free. It's amazing sometimes because of what we see them do on so many different plays.
Had the catch, but couldn't control it on the contact. They'll come out throwing here on first down. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but
yeah,
no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Flushed out right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And that play was what every defense is wary of. The big strike attempted downfield, but they were in excellent position. They didn't get fooled, and while he didn't come up with the interception, was able to bat the ball down.
Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Okay, so Larry apparently giving us the silent treatment all of a sudden, and we're going to skip ahead to quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. Oh, what a move. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll come out in the pistol. The play clock's running down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that one is incomplete. He just dropped it. But they're up big on the scoreboard, so maybe he can chuckle about later.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Back to throw. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Green 39! Green 39!
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
All right, here we go. 3-19!
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw in that play. No gain.
Freeman. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, there was 0 space, no gain. One hallmark of good defenses, understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Well, I guess we're at the stage here where they wouldn't say no to any points, but I don't think field goals are what they're looking for here in the second half.
I don't either, Brandon. When you're down as much as they are, that's the sign of a head coach waving the white flag to me.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game, Coach.
That's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Six yards to go here on 2nd down.
And I got you.
Time running out here on the play clock. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming. And they only need a little bit here. Third down and very short.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. That kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it. And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
And he will find his man on the outside. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Play clock winding down. Back to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his.
Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Over! Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Looking to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. And the play clock's running down. Now a shotgun snap is, and he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Brandon Cooks, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Saints are pouring it on. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in second and manageable.
And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's third down and inches. The Saints with an extra defensive back here on third on the field.
Could they blitz?
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this is going to be incomplete. He was hoping to get that one to Tevin Coleman in space. And it brings up fourth down.
I have to say that was a surprise call on third and inches. I thought they'd try and run the football there, but you got to believe they thought they'd surprise the defense and pick up something downfield. But that one goes incomplete.
And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Now a handoff here to his running back. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Time running out here on the play clock. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll set up to throw. And Cooks has it over the middle. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. They'll look to throw here on first down. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Green, 39.
Back to throw again. And he's got his man on the out route. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Taking it about the 16. Takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. Brandon, his second punt return for a touchdown in this game. Where's Marvin? That's got to be somewhere near a record, right?
Well, it ties the record, as you know. Been done 14 times coming into 2016. Hasn't been done since 2012 until that moment. So we have